Welcome to my channel, XCoinUSA. Before you spend another coin from your pocket, stop and watch this. That ordinary-looking Jefferson nickel, Monticello nickel, or Lincoln coin could secretly be worth hundreds, thousands, or even life-changing money. Every year, rare mint errors, low mintage coins, and hidden varieties are discovered by everyday people, and the next one could already be in your collection. In today's video, I'll reveal the valuable coins collectors are desperately searching for, the rare details you must check, and the mistakes that could cost you a fortune. Stay with me until the end, because the last coin might be the most valuable one of all. First up, the 1946 D Jefferson nickel marks the beginning of a brand new chapter in American coinage. At first glance, it looks almost identical to millions of other Jefferson nickels, but collectors know that appearances can be deceiving. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint shortly after World War II, during a time when the United States was transitioning back to peacetime production. Unlike the wartime silver nickels made from 1942 through 1945, the 1946 D returned to the traditional copper and nickel alloy. That simple change makes it an important historical piece, because it represents the first year ordinary Jefferson nickels resumed after the war. Many of these coins entered circulation immediately, spending decades passing from one pocket to another, picking up scratches, wear, and discoloration along the way. Today, finding one is easy, but finding an exceptional example is an entirely different story. The D mint mark on this coin tells you it was produced at the Denver Mint. It appears on the reverse of the coin, to the right of Monticello on the original reverse design used until 2003. Millions of 1946 D nickels were struck, so most circulated examples are worth only a modest premium over face value. However, collectors don't judge value by date alone. They carefully examine strike quality, original mint luster, surface preservation, and whether the famous steps leading to Monticello remain fully visible. Coins with unusually sharp details immediately attract attention because many 1946 D nickels were struck from worn dies that left softer details on the building. One of the first things experienced collectors inspect is the condition of the steps at the base of Monticello. If those horizontal lines are complete and uninterrupted, the coin may qualify for the coveted full steps designation. This designation is not a separate variety, but a grading recognition awarded only to coins with exceptional strike quality. Because relatively few 1946 D nickels survived with fully defined steps after decades in circulation, certified full steps examples often sell for dramatically more than ordinary examples of the same date. The next area to inspect is the overall strike. Jefferson's hair should display strong definition, especially around the ponytail and above the ear. Weakly struck examples often have flattened details, while sharply struck pieces show crisp lines throughout the portrait. Collectors also look for original mint luster that creates a rotating cartwheel effect under light. Once that original surface has been damaged by harsh cleaning or polishing, the coin usually loses significant collector value. Although the 1946 D is not known for a famous major variety like the 1939 doubled Monticello or the 1950 D low mintage issue, genuine mint errors can still make individual coins highly desirable. Collectors search for off-center strikes, broad strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, retained cuds, struck through errors, and occasional doubled dies. These errors occurred during the minting process and are far scarcer than normal coins. Authentication by a respected third-party grading service is essential because damage after leaving the mint can sometimes resemble a genuine mint error. Condition plays the biggest role in determining value. A heavily circulated 1946 D nickel with noticeable wear generally trades for only a small premium. Coins in about uncirculated condition are more desirable because they retain much of their original detail. True mint state examples, especially those graded MS65, MS66, or higher, become increasingly difficult to locate. At those grades, tiny differences in preservation can mean substantial differences in market value. Auction history demonstrates how much collectors value quality. While circulated 1946 D nickels are common, superb certified examples with outstanding eye appeal and the full steps designation have realized hundreds and, in exceptional cases, even thousands of dollars at major auctions. Those prices are driven not by the date alone but by extraordinary preservation, sharp strike quality, and strong collector demand. If you discover a 1946 D Jefferson nickel, examine it carefully before assuming it is ordinary. Look for the Denver D mint mark. Inspect the steps of Monticello under magnification. Check for unusual mint errors, and avoid cleaning the coin under any circumstances. Even gentle cleaning can permanently reduce its value. Store the coin in a protective holder, and if you believe it may be an exceptional example or an authentic mint error, consider submitting it to a professional grading service for authentication and grading. The 1946 D Jefferson nickel reminds collectors that rarity is often created by condition rather than mintage. Millions were produced, yet only a tiny percentage survived with flawless surfaces, brilliant original luster, and complete full steps. That is why experienced collectors continue searching through old collections, bank rolls, estate accumulations, and forgotten coin jars. Every search offers the possibility of finding a beautifully preserved example that has gone unnoticed for decades, proving that even an everyday-looking 5-cent coin can become a prized collectible when it combines history, quality, and exceptional preservation. Now the search becomes even more interesting, because this is where experienced collectors separate an ordinary 1946 D Jefferson nickel from one that deserves a closer inspection. One of the most desirable varieties is the repunched mint mark, often identified as the 1946 D variety. During the minting process, the D mint mark was punched into the working die more than once, creating traces of an additional mint mark beneath or beside the primary one. Under magnification, specialists may notice remnants of the earlier punch, and one of the best-known versions even shows an inverted first punch. These varieties are significantly scarcer than normal strikes and are actively sought by Jefferson nickel specialists. Beyond repunched mint marks, collectors also search for off-center strikes, broad strikes, struck through errors caused by grease or foreign material, clipped planchets, die cracks, retained cuds, and occasional double die features. While most 1946 D nickels are ordinary circulation coins, genuine mint errors can transform an otherwise common date into a highly collectible piece. Authentication is essential, however, because post-mint damage can easily be mistaken for a rare error by inexperienced collectors. Professional authentication is often the difference between an interesting discovery and a confirmed collectible. Before sending a coin for grading, avoid cleaning it under any circumstances. Even light polishing removes the original mint surface and can dramatically reduce collector value. Experts recommend holding the coin only by its edges, storing it in a non-PVC holder, and examining it under proper lighting with at least a 5x or 10x magnifying glass. The grading companies most trusted by collectors are PCGS and NGC, where specialists evaluate the coin's authenticity, preservation, strike quality, luster, and surface marks before assigning a numerical grade on the 1 to 70 Sheldon scale. For Jefferson Nickels, an additional full steps designation may be awarded if the steps of Monticello are fully defined and uninterrupted. Because many 1946 D nickels were not struck with exceptional sharpness, coins receiving the full steps designation attract far greater attention from advanced collectors. Condition has a remarkable impact on value. A circulated 1946 D Jefferson nickel is generally worth only a small premium over face value, while attractive uncirculated examples become progressively more desirable. According to current price guides, circulated pieces often trade for only a few cents above face value. Typical mint state examples are usually worth modest amounts, and superb certified examples command much stronger prices. The greatest premiums are reserved for coins with exceptional eye appeal, nearly flawless surfaces, and the coveted full steps designation. These are the examples that serious registry set collectors compete for, creating values far beyond those of ordinary circulated pieces. Auction history perfectly illustrates this difference in quality. Ordinary mint state coins may sell for only a few dollars or a few dozen dollars, yet exceptional certified examples have achieved dramatically higher prices. PCGS records show that high-grade 1946D Jefferson Nickels have realized thousands of dollars at major auctions, while an outstanding 1946DD repunched mint mark example, graded MS66, brought an impressive $11,500. These headline prices are not representative of average coins. They reflect extraordinary preservation, scarce varieties, or elite quality that only a tiny percentage of surviving examples possess. This is why knowledgeable collectors study every detail before deciding whether a coin deserves professional certification. If you happen to own a 1946D Jefferson nickel today, don't judge it by the date alone. Examine the Denver mint mark carefully for signs of a repunched variety. Inspect the steps of Monticello under magnification. Look for unusual mint-made errors instead of circulation damage, and preserve the coin exactly as it was found. Most examples will remain affordable collectibles, but every so often an exceptional survivor emerges with remarkable strike quality, brilliant original luster, or a scarce die variety that captures the attention of collectors worldwide. That possibility is exactly what keeps Jefferson nickel enthusiasts searching through old collections, estate holdings, bank rolls, and forgotten coin jars. Hopping the next overlooked 5-cent piece will turn out to be something truly special. Next up, the 1973D Jefferson nickel looks like one of the most ordinary 5-cent coins ever produced. Millions of Americans handled these nickels every day, spending them without a second thought. Yet collectors know that even a common-looking coin can become surprisingly valuable when it combines outstanding condition, a rare mint error, or an exceptional strike. Produced at the Denver Mint and identified by the small D mint mark on the reverse beside Monticello, the 1973D represents an era when the United States Mint was striking huge numbers of coins to meet the nation's growing demand for circulating currency. More than 330 million examples were minted, making it a common date in worn condition. However, quantity alone never tells the entire story. The real challenge is finding one that survived nearly untouched for more than 50 years, preserving its original mint luster, sharp details, and beautiful surfaces. The 1973D Jefferson nickel was struck using the traditional alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel that has been used for most Jefferson nickels since the end of the wartime silver alloy. On the obverse, Thomas Jefferson's portrait displays the familiar design created by Felix Schlag, while the reverse features his Virginia home, Monticello. Although millions entered circulation immediately, many suffered heavy wear from decades of everyday commerce. That is why collectors carefully examine every surviving example, searching for coins that escaped circulation altogether. One of the most important characteristics specialists inspect is the sharpness of the strike. Strongly struck coins display crisp hair details on Jefferson and clearly defined architectural features on Monticello, especially the steps leading to the entrance. Those steps are among the most closely studied details on any Jefferson nickel. If every step remains fully visible and uninterrupted by heavy strike weakness or contact marks, the coin may qualify for the coveted full steps designation awarded by professional grading services. Because many nickels from the early 1970s were struck with less than perfect pressure, true full steps examples are considerably scarcer than ordinary mint state coins. This small detail can make an enormous difference in collector demand and market value. Two coins with the same date and grade may sell for dramatically different prices simply because one possesses complete full steps while the other does not. The excitement grows even more when collectors begin searching for genuine mint errors. Although the 1973 D. Jefferson nickel is not famous for one single major variety, valuable mint-made errors do exist. Specialists search for off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, struck-through errors caused by grease or debris inside the dies, die cracks, cuds, lamination errors, and occasional double-die varieties. These errors occurred during the manufacturing process at the United States Mint and are much scarcer than ordinary coins. However, it is important to distinguish true mint errors from damage caused after the coin entered circulation. Scratches, dents, environmental corrosion, and machine damage usually do not increase value. Authentication by respected grading companies such as PCGS or NGC is the safest way to confirm whether an unusual-looking coin is a genuine mint error. Grading plays an enormous role in determining the value of a 1973 D. Jefferson nickel. Most circulated examples are worth only face value or a modest collector premium because of their abundance. As the condition improves into mint state grades such as MS65, MS66, and higher, prices rise steadily. Coins displaying brilliant original luster, minimal contact marks, and exceptional eye appeal become increasingly difficult to locate. The highest quality survivors, especially those certified with the full steps designation, represent only a tiny fraction of the original mintage, and are the examples serious registry set collectors compete to own. Auction records clearly demonstrate how dramatically condition affects value. While ordinary circulated examples are inexpensive, superb certified examples have realized hundreds, and in exceptional grades with full steps, even thousands of dollars at major auctions. Those impressive prices are not typical for every 1973 D. Jefferson nickel. Instead, they reflect extraordinary preservation, outstanding strike quality, and the intense competition among advanced collectors seeking the finest known examples. This is why experienced numismatists never judge a coin solely by its date. They evaluate every surface, every detail, and every characteristic before determining its true collector value. If you discover a 1973 D. Jefferson nickel in an old collection, inherited coin box, bankroll, or pocket change, take a careful look before spending it. Examine the Denver mint mark. Inspect the steps of Monticello under magnification. Search for unusual die varieties or genuine mint errors, and never clean the coin. Even gentle polishing can permanently reduce its collectible value by removing the original mint surface. Store the coin safely in a protective holder, and if it appears unusually well preserved or displays a possible mint error, consider professional authentication. Although most 1973 D. Jefferson nickels remain affordable collectibles, exceptional examples continue to surprise the numismatic community, proving that even an everyday 5-cent coin can become a prized treasure when rarity, condition, and history come together. Next up, the 1958 D. Jefferson nickel may seem like just another 5-cent coin from the late 1950s, but collectors know that this date can become surprisingly desirable under the right circumstances. Struck at the Denver Mint, and identified by the small D mint mark on the reverse next to Monticello, this coin represents an era when the United States Mint was producing millions of nickels to support a rapidly growing economy. More than 168 million examples were minted, making circulated pieces relatively common today. Yet the story changes completely when a 1958 D survives in exceptional condition. After more than 6 decades, most examples have accumulated wear, scratches, dull surfaces, or damage from circulation. Coins that escaped everyday use with blazing original mint luster and sharply defined details are far scarcer than the original mintage numbers might suggest, and those are the examples that attract serious collector attention. The 1958 D. Jefferson nickel was struck in the standard alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel, returning to the familiar composition used after the wartime silver nickels of the 1940s. On the obverse appears Thomas Jefferson, while the reverse features his famous Virginia estate, Monticello, designed by Felix Schlag. Although the design appears simple, experienced collectors study every detail carefully. Jefferson's hair should display strong definition, while the columns, windows, and dome of Monticello should appear crisp and fully struck. The most important area, however, is the staircase beneath Monticello. If every step is complete and uninterrupted, the coin may qualify for the coveted full steps designation awarded by major grading services. Because many 1958 D nickels were struck with less than perfect detail, full steps examples are significantly scarcer and can command substantial premiums. Beyond strike quality, collectors eagerly search for genuine mint-made errors. While the 1958 D is not known for a famous major variety like the 1939 doubled Monticello or the 1950 D low mintage issue, valuable mint errors certainly exist. Specialists inspect these nickels for doubled dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, retained cuds, struck through errors caused by grease or debris, and lamination defects. Every genuine mint error tells the story of a brief mechanical problem during production, making each coin unique. However, collectors must be careful not to confuse post-mint damage with authentic mint errors. Scratches, corrosion, polishing, and machine damage are common, but generally do not increase value. Professional authentication is the safest way to determine whether an unusual coin is truly rare. Condition is the single greatest factor influencing the value of a 1958 D Jefferson nickel. Circulated examples typically trade for only a modest premium over face value because of their availability. As preservation improves into mint state grades, collector demand increases rapidly. Coins certified as MS65 or MS66 become much more desirable, while superb gems graded MS67 or higher are genuinely difficult to locate. Add the full steps designation to a top-grade example, and the value can rise dramatically. These exceptional survivors represent only a tiny percentage of the original mintage, making them highly sought after by registry-set collectors who compete for the finest certified examples. Auction records clearly demonstrate this difference. Ordinary circulated 1958 D nickels remain inexpensive, while attractive mint state coins bring higher prices depending on quality. The greatest excitement surrounds superb full steps examples certified by respected grading services. At major auctions, elite specimens have realized thousands of dollars because of their extraordinary preservation, sharp strike, and rarity in top condition. These remarkable prices do not represent average 1958 D nickels found in circulation. Instead, they reflect the very finest survivors, coins with outstanding eye appeal, nearly flawless surfaces, and exceptional strike quality that stand apart from ordinary examples. If you own a 1958 D Jefferson nickel, take time to examine it carefully before deciding its value. Look closely at the Denver mint mark, inspect the steps of Monticello with magnification, search for unusual die varieties or genuine mint errors, and check whether the coin still displays original mint luster. Never clean or polish the coin, because even gentle cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce collector value. Store it safely in a protective holder, and if it appears unusually well preserved or displays characteristics of a genuine mint error, professional grading may be worthwhile. The 1958 D Jefferson nickel proves that an everyday 5-cent coin can become an important collectible when exceptional condition, rare mint-made characteristics, and historical significance come together, reminding collectors that hidden treasures are often found where few people think to look.